Welcome everybody. Uh, how we doing tonight on the night of the 4th of May?
Well, I'm not a Star Wars executive, so I think I'm doing pretty good.
And you're pre-gaming tomorrow. As an Irishman, and many Mexicans were involved. Many Irish were involved in the freeing of Mexico and other Latin American countries. You guys can claim Cinco de Mayo as the second drinking holiday.
I mean, everything's a drinking like Wednesday's a drinking holiday.
I mean, I've had those kind of Wednesdays. And how are you doing, Rune?
I'm all right.
All right. And last but not least, it is our church-shaped overlord, the Church of Failure, has arrived. But he's muted.
Of course he's muted.
We'll figure that out. So, I shared something in the group chat. A backup story in the free comic book day edition of Amazing Spider-Man, where they took characters that are people from the real world who somehow got access to superpowers to cross over to Marvel Comics as Marvel Comics characters. And one of them said, wait, can we kill one more guy? Because he's the dead Vereen. He's part Deadpool, part Wolverine. Which, that's just like Wolverine with a better healing factor. It's kind of a weird character choice, but I'll allow it. Because he's going to kill Paul. So what do we think about Marvel Comics doing this cheap teaser to try to get me to buy the comic that these characters are in that's written by Chip Zdarsky?
Well, that depends. Is it going to work?
Probably not.
I believe the term that was used is bait.
It is, in fact, bait. It is the cheapest of cheap heat. And my experience with Free Comic Book Day this year was kind of weird. Because number one, my local comic book shop hasn't really advertised Free Comic Book Day all that much. You know why they haven't? Because we have a local comic book convention that's happening next week. So they've focused more of their energies on that. So I didn't even know it was Free Comic Book Day. I had forgotten.
Oddly enough, and this is not just the industry. Like, I don't just want to say, "Oh yeah, it's because the comic makers are shit." A lot of comic shops, in my experience, are actually not doing Comic Book Day, or are increasingly downplaying Comic Book Day because they don't actually see business. They just move free product. But like, that seems kind of counterintuitive. Like, no, you want more boots in store because then they'll impulse buy.
I mean, I didn't even impulse buy. I bought 2 comic books so I can get the comic guy who's at the convention. I'm actually going to go there to autograph him.
To be fair, my source I don't trust, and it's just my local shop. My local shop is the big fish in a small pond, and they are also a big box because they sell all the other jank. They sell Warhammer, they sell Game Time for Friday Night Magic, they sell board games, and they've long said that they don't actually make their money on comics. They make the majority of their money on selling Game Time.
We call those nerd bodegas.
That's basically what the comic book store over here is too. There's like 2 shelving units of comic books, and the rest was all Funko Pops and toys and fucking bullshit.
And the only Free Comic Book Day comic book I'm going to talk about is that nice Speed Racer comic book. And it's by the same company that has like the Flash Gordon license now. So what do you think about the idea of Speed Racer and Flash Gordon crossing over?
I think that's a horrible idea, but I can't stop it.
What do you think about this, Church? Because you might have some thoughts.
I mean, I don't hate either one of those properties, but I mean, I've seen what people do with properties that I don't hate in the past several years, and I'm basically against animefying anything, considering
Mm,
they put
mm.
out Flash Gordon Adventures crossed over with the girl from Infinity in terrible childish animation for Free Comic Book Day.
Mm, mm. Yeah. The other stuff is like, hey, here's like a Spider-Man thing. It's like, okay, there's just like an A, B, and C story from a Spider-Man comic. It's like, that's not really particularly good. They had like a Power Rangers thing about the Prime Rangers, which do you know more about the Rangers from Power Rangers lore, Church?
The what Rangers?
The Prime Rangers.
Yeah. What
What
about
what
them?
what are the Prime Rangers all about? Because this was a free comic book day comic about the Prime Rangers.
Well, the Prime Rangers were essentially from what I gathered and what I read all those months and months ago. They're basically the embodiment of the color of their ranger.
Hmm.
They pull like their suit isn't static. It's constantly shifting between parts of every different ranger color or every different
Huh.
ranger era. If I'm not mistaken, are we talking about the same thing?
Uh, that kind of looked like that a little bit, but the comic book was all based around how a doggo, uh, through his bravery, inspired uh, a mini Zord, like a doggo-sized Zord. I'm guessing this is like a Zord baby that's eventually going to become something like the Brontosaurus Zord that they had in Power Rangers.
I might be thinking of something else. Let me look at it real quick
Okay.
because
Okay.
I may not be thinking about the Prime Rangers, unless that was what some of the Rangers were recruited to be in secret.
They also had like a VR Rangers comic book. I'm like going, oh yeah, this was a thing, wasn't it? I remember this being a thing. But there wasn't really a lot of good stuff. There was also the 2000 AD Free Range Comic Book Day comic, but it's like, we have decades of material. We're just going to slop that in here, so I wasn't interested in picking that one up. And it's been my experience that the Free Comic Book Day products have been declining in quality since the first Free Comic Book Day.
I mean, all comic books have been declining in quality since then. So is it really that
Yeah.
surprising?
Yeah. But you know what hasn't declined in quality? The new Ultimate Spider-Man. Jonathan Hickman, he's still going strong with that book.
That's
And
shocking.
yes, yes. And Jonathan Hickman did something I didn't expect him to do. Make me actually care about the character of Gwen Stacy.
Damn.
So in this version of the Ultimate Universe, Gwen Stacy was corporate girl boss wife to Harry Osborn, which is kind of a fun inversion. He ended up dating Gwen. Peter ended up married to, MJ. It's fun, right? But it turns out that Gwen is secretly a member of the Council of Mysterios. We need to have a talk with Jonathan Hickman with his need to have councils for everything. But the Council of Mysterios was all about trying to figure out, hey, our universe isn't right. What's going on with that? We need to figure out what Illuminati bullshit has happened to make our universe not right so we can put a stop to it. And Gwen Stacy was their top operative.
Interesting.
And then Gwen became a Mysterio. And then in the scene where Peter and Harry were in the Savage Land in Mysterio killed Harry, turns out that was a Mysterio illusion. In actuality, Harry was alive, and Gwen kept him alive while another Mysterio murked Craven. And then Gwen Stacy and Harry are going out to work in secret to go against the plot of the Maker. Because the Council of Mysterios are all out to stop the Maker because he's an asshole who's ruined the universe. So again, I'm 16 issues in and I'm still invested in this Ultimate Spider-Man. Now, they're going to bring Miles in again for some reason.
Aren't they done with him?
No, they're not. Because he's at least connected to some sort of a profitable IP, and they have not rode that horse into the ground yet.
They will never be done with Miles until people like you and I die of extreme old age, and we forget that Peter Parker even exists. And by then, they will be making the Asian, Mexican, half Filipino, transgender, female Spider-Man, and want us to forget that Miles exists.
Hold up. They've already made that because they've gotten into all these dumb Spider-Verse comics.
Right.
Now, I will say, if they came out with like a midget Spider-Man, I would read that.
I mean, they got Spider-Ham. That's basically a midget.
No, that's not a midget. That's a pig. That's racist.
Is there a difference?
I mean, if you looked at pictures of Peter Dinklage.
Okay, I'll give you that. I don't have a good counter argument to that one.
But my experience with Free Comic Book Day and the Ultimate Spider-Man is these have both been good experiences with comics. I've gotten out of the Superman comic I was into, so I'm now down to just Ultimate Spider-Man and Conan. And I also got a Free Comic Book Day book from Conan, and it's, good classic Conan stuff with Conan Conaning around, stealing from corrupt nobles, and the corrupt nobles getting their own comeuppance. It's good, solid stuff. But now we're going to get into the less fun stuff. We're going to get into Sad Boy Con, because I saw Thunderbolts. And Ayrton, Church, have you heard all the promotional material? This is a movie about depression.
No.
I saw the awful trailer.
Well, all the news stories and a lot of the online stuff promoting it talked about how this was the most realistic movie about depression.
Now, the only thing I've heard about this is I had a couple of coworkers who saw it and said they liked it.
No, I'm gonna start the fire. We are 13 minutes in. I am gonna fiery for a minute. No, this is not the most realistic depiction of depression. And anyone who says it is the most realistic depiction of depression can get fucked.
That's a photo of Joe sitting in his computer.
No, it's not. Here's the thing. My father was a manic depressive. There's a range of depressions. I'm not going to get onto the fucking spectrum bullshit. We don't need to talk about that. I'm just saying I lived with the man. I lived with him for 40 fucking years. Okay? When he was happy, everyone had to be happy. If you weren't happy, he got pissed. Okay? When he was pissed, everyone else had to be on their fucking toes. All right? If he felt sad, you had to be sad, because if you weren't sad, he was going to be upset that you were happy because he wasn't. Okay?
Yeah, that's a bad time.
And if my dad was really depressed, I mean, if it hit him hard, okay, I was told by mom, because mom and I would talk about what the fuck is wrong with my father, okay, that basically it was like being wrapped in cotton. Okay? You can look out, you can see the world, you want to do things and talk to people, and you fucking can't. Okay? Actual fucking depression is a bad time, and it hurts people, and it is not a quirky, fun power that makes you a hero. It's not something you overcome by punching a villain in the face. Okay? It's not something where I just need an external force to validate me. It's not I need hugs. It never goes the fuck away!
That's not true. It goes away all the time.
But it come back.
These are like regular ass problems. Everybody's depressed.
So
Right.
hold
Oh, shit,
hold
Dillard's
hold
here. I
up.
can leave.
No. Dillard's here to
My
add.
family just waved bye to you, by the way, Church, when you said that.
Also,
So
What is it?
She waved bye when you said you can leave.
also we missed you, John. The reports of your potential death were greatly overstated. I didn't believe them for a minute.
Oh, thank goodness somebody didn't.
I thought John was dead.
Over in John's chat, John had been busy with life. And so people were like, is Dillard gone? Is Dillard dead? Did something happen?
Like, I could have let people know that I was having some trouble with my eye. I couldn't really use the computer because I had to have my eyes wrapped, and then I could only really look around for about 30 minutes every 6 hours. And then I had to go put my drops back in and wrap them back up. And I could have let people know, but I didn't because I'm a fucking guy. Who cares?
Also, you could have said, "Hey, honey, could you please tell the weirdos online that this is Dillard's wife? You don't have the account."
Give my wife access to my computer? Are you crazy?
Do you know how much porn she would find?
Yeah, imagine the kind of porn that she would find on that thing.
I never close tabs.
So we're about to talk
What
about
is incognito mode?
we were talking about the Thunderbolts movie. Did you see that movie, Dillard?
No, everybody's talking about it. I haven't seen it
Did you not just listen to the man? He hasn't seen shit in a couple of weeks.
yet.
Which is a tricky
Fuck
thing,
you.
which is a tricky ailment to have when you're an artist as your primary
is.
career.
It is.
But no, good news though. This Tuesday, I went and got my checkup again and it is not degenerative. It is healing.
You are still a degenerate, though. But
I beg your pardon.
I've been in your chats, watching your streams.
You'll never find a more wholesome chap. But I'm very happy about that. So
Right on. So the first thing I want to say about this movie is they had the pieces to make a good movie, but they didn't know how to assemble the pieces. And I want to talk about the pieces for the good movie. They
I
had
got a question on that comment.
Yes.
Is there ever a movie that doesn't have the pieces to have the potential?
Oh, all the time. All the time.
Like a Lost Cause from Jump Street.
Yes, all the time.
All right.
There are movies where they just don't really know what they're doing, and things get stupid. Like Captain America: Brave New World. That movie didn't have the pieces.
Like there was no way in the world that movie could have been good.
No,
I mean, most Adam Sandler movies, there's no way in the world they could be good.
Well, no. Adam Sandler movies, they're either all good or what the fuck were you thinking? Were you high when you made this? There's no middle ground in Adam Sandler.
Waterboy was a masterpiece.
I say they're like 60% just elaborate tax write-offs.
But let's talk a little bit about the pieces in this movie. So, like, characters. The characters all had good character arcs. So we had John Walker, U.S. agent, who he's basically the Captain America that the MCU deserved if it wasn't going to be Bucky. And he was a sad boy because, you know, he was viewed by people on the internet as a murderer, even though he killed a terrorist that killed his friend. And he had some PTSD and he was feeling bad. And his wife was like, listen, I need you to watch the baby. And the baby was fine. The baby was just like chilled out, but like the wife couldn't deal with his emotional stuff. So she left and took the kid. So he was doing government black ops to try to get himself redeemed as a person. Kind of weird, but
that seems like the opposite way to redeem yourself, working for the government.
Right. I mean, he's a soldier, so he thinks that's what. So it's fine. That's a reasonable character arc. We have Ghost from the Ant-Man movies was in here, and she's not given a character arc. The movie tries to forget she's there, and when she's there, they're like, "Oh crap, she has the power to phase through things that could ruin our whole plot. So we need to nerf her powers." So she doesn't have a character arc. That's kind of sad. But that's the thing. We have Discount Taskmaster from the Black Widow movies. She got killed in the opening because the director said, and this is something he said in an interview, we felt that there needed to be something more impactful and hard-hitting in the opening, so we just decided to kill her character. You know, they hired her.
You have to care about a character for their death to impact you at the beginning of the movie.
And here's the fun part, Ayrton. The characters in the movie didn't care about her death. Ghost asked White Widow, Yelena, whatever her name is in the thing, was that your friend who just got murked there? They're like, yeah, she had a hard life, did some bad things, and she died. That's going to happen to all of us eventually. And then
that does sound like her character, though.
It is the way her character has been written. It's kind of stupid, but yes. Then we have Bucky Barnes, who is a congressman for some reason. And in this movie, he's a congressman, so he can be part of a committee that's trying to impeach the director of the CIA, even though that's not how the CIA works. And he just kind of feels like, man, I'm kind of useless without being a superhero. Being a member of Congress is kind of shitty, and I don't like it. I feel bad. So it's about him realizing he did more for people when he wasn't an elected official. So, I mean, that's a good, reasonable character arc. He's a good actor. And then we have the White Widow.
When does it swerve and show out that he's a Skrull?
No. That doesn't happen because that was in a shitty TV show that Sam Jackson was in that nobody watched.
Oh, yeah, wait a minute. I got a beef with that. Like, when in any Marvel movie ever made did fucking Bucky ever act?
He's a good actor. Yeah, in Winter Soldier. he was good in Winter Soldier and he was good in Captain America. He was good in the first two movies, and he was kind of there in the rest of the movies.
He was good in those movies because he said nothing.
Here's the thing. I know that you're being a shitter, Dillard, but you are 100% correct.
I'm not being a shitter. I'm expressing my feelings.
No, I get it, but just saying.
Are you validating Dillard's feelings, Ren?
No, I'm stomping on them. But no, seriously. The actor's not bad. Let's be serious. The actor's not a bad guy. He's good at the tools he's got. But what he's given to work with is shit. And
he is very good at staring menacingly. I will give you that.
Absolutely. Yeah. When he's Winter Soldier in the first one and he doesn't have any speaking parts, he's solid. He's right. This is especially true because it's totally. I was talking about this a little bit earlier. It's the Boba Fett effect, right? Winter Soldier was awesome. Yeah, Winter Soldier was awesome in the first one because you didn't know who he was or what his problem was, and even though they tell you by the end, it's like, wow, that character's pretty cool. And then it's like, well, now he's in this, and now he's in this, and now he's this, and now he's talking, and it's like, Jesus Christ, please take him back to the mind whammer and put him in the box.
When I heard about this movie and I saw the lineup, I was like, I thought, okay, they have an opportunity here to give U.S. Agent, because he's kind of riding high, right? Like when he came out in that show and he put that chin strap on and his bottom half of his face just disappeared. He looked he just looked like the most nothing person in the world after he put that chin strap on, and his jaw disappeared. I was like, oh, that's so embarrassing. But
and the show also wanted you to hate him because he murdered a communist.
Yeah, but he had the opportunity now because of hate for Falcon America to actually step up and be, somebody. I was hoping in the movie they were gonna bank on that. I don't know if they did or not. But out of all that cast, the only people that step on stage and have presence are Florence and Red Guardian.
Well, we're about to get to them. So they feel sad because of Natasha's death, and Florence feels sad because of her entire life. And they open with her jumping off of a building to do some base jumping. And, Red Guardian's using nostalgia as his way to cope with his depression. And, all of these things here are good character arcs that if you had a good structure to put them all in, that would be good. And then we have Bob. This is not the Sentry from the comic books. This is just some guy who was bipolar manic depressive with dissociative identity disorder, who liked crystal meth. So this is a character the church can relate to, and Ayrton can relate to a lot.
I was about to say, are we about to knock liking crystal meth? Who doesn't like crystal meth? It's delicious.
But, he also had a mom who was an alcoholic who beat him, and it implied he had a dad who molested him. We had a rough time.
That just makes you grow up stronger.
And
no,
so
usually what it does, it makes you eat a lot so that you're unattractive, so that nobody else molests you.
Or you become a Catholic priest.
No, you see, the secret is that Bob did eat a lot, but he also did meth, so he stayed thin.
I mean, that is the secret of champion.
I mean, meth is a great weight loss program.
And Bob is a character. The actor performs well with what he's given. And he has a really good scene in the end of the movie where he's the Sentry, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus, discount Selena Meyer, goes to him and says, like, you need to do what I say. And he's like, why? She's, excuse me? Yeah, I mean, I'm basically a god. You're saying I'm stronger than all the Avengers. Why the fuck should I listen to you? And the movie almost potentially had something interesting to say. But whenever this happens in this movie, they pull back from the brink and avoid saying anything interesting. So, our characters, who are all Black Ops specialists, right? Except for Red Guardian, who we'll get to in a minute, they all work for discount Selena Meyer, who's being impeached as the director of the CIA. You don't impeach directors of the CIA, they serve at the will and pleasure of the president. And the new president, who's not a Hulk, should have just fired her because she did illegal human experimentation to make superheroes.
Or the old president who was a Hulk should have just eaten her.
I mean, yes. Yes, but the problem is the reminder of, like, hey, the president turned into a Hulk. This was totally a thing that got added in later in the movie. And it doesn't play any relevance, even though it should have. And so she has all these different tactical operatives showing up to stop somebody from stealing her darkest secrets. And she promises them all, like, their big payday. Turns out it's a trap to murder them all.
No one saw that coming.
Exactly. And then they eventually figure out how to get out of the death trap. Nobody wants to listen to Captain America, aka U.S. Agent, because he has a penis. This isn't going to be something that's going to be repeated throughout the whole movie. They figure out how to get out of the death trap, and then they get to an elevator shaft. And these people, who are all tactical operatives, can't, work together long enough to get out of an elevator shaft. But eventually, Bob is the glue that holds them together and gets them to almost get out of the elevator shaft. And Captain America, aka U.S. Agent, the guy who did nothing wrong, gets them out of the elevator shaft at the end. But nobody wants to listen to him, so they're all mad at him because he was successful and has a penis. Again, this is a recurring theme of the show. They bumble their way out of the CIA death squads that are sent to kill them, but then they realize that Bob is there, and they're like, shit, we can't kill them, we have to capture Bob.
Wait, is this Hydra Bob?
No, this is the Sentry Bob.
I like Hydra Bob better. Hydra Bob would have been a better character for this.
He would have been.
Yeah.
And so they bumble their way into stealing a military truck, and they're about to get captured until Bob runs off with like a assault rifle, distracts all the Death Squad guys, and they shoot Bob, and that activates Bob's superpowers. And then the CIA later recaptures Bob and starts to turn him into the Sentry. Whereas the rest of our characters start getting
Did
chased
they
through the...
play Century by Fallout Boy during this?
They should have. They should have, but they didn't. Then the rest of our characters aimlessly wander through the desert trying to escape from the CIA.
They did miss an opportunity to give Bob a sidekick named Vagine.
Vagine, yeah. Very good.
And Red Guardian joins the rest of the group because Red Guardian wasn't part of the Black Ops team. He found out because he was the limo driver for Discount Selena Meyer for some reason. And just as they're all about to be killed, Winter Soldier shows up to save everybody. And then Winter Soldier captures them because he's wanting to take them back to Congress so they can testify before Congress. And they're like, listen, this guy's got retarded superpowers. We kind of need to stop him because he's also kind of fucking crazy. He doesn't believe them. He believes some random intern who works for Discount Selena Meyer, who he's trying to sleep with. Because, I mean, he's a man. That's what's going to motivate his thinking. So they drive a U-Haul truck into what used to be Avengers Tower, that they're now calling the Watchtower. Because, you know, it's the Sentry, so he's got his Watchtower. That is the only thing that really references Sentry other than his visual design. They fight a bunch of mooks. And then she's like, hey, guys, I opened the door for you. Just come up the elevator. And she tells them how they're all losers when they get up to the suite where Tony Stark famously drank alcohol while he told Loki, you're not as smart as you think you are. And then Sentry comes down and he beats him up. He doesn't hurt them because he's so much more powerful than them. Why the fuck would he do that? And then the gang, they go downstairs because they're defeated. Discount Selena Meyer has her argument with Bob, and then they activate the failsafe device, which is in him, but they did explain how they made a replacement remote control for the failsafe device. Just don't worry about it. Then this causes the Void to come out, and the Void gives all of New York City sad times and sucks them into basically using proper Marvel lore into the dark dimension, where they're all forced to live the saddest part of their existence. And so Florence Pugh goes in, finds Bob, helps him understand that, you know, he can fight his sadness, and then she and the rest of the team show up at the end and tell Bob not to murder his sadness, but instead they hug him. And then they defeat the sadness and save the city. But there's still the villain, Selena Meyer, who they chase down, who has a press conference announcing them as the new Avengers. End credit scene is the new Avengers are being in a lawsuit with the Avengers run by Sam Wilson, who aren't in this movie for some reason. And we don't get into the fact that Kate Bishop has the Young Avengers that was alluded to at the end of the Marvels. And then the Fantastic Four shows up. This movie was bad because it had lots of interesting characters, lots of interesting ideas, but nobody thought to make a plot to put those ideas and characters in so they could express themselves. And the director really didn't encourage the actors to do more. The guy who played Red Guardian is always excellent, and the Red Guardian is the only character who's like, yes, I'm depressed, but I'm Russian, we're all depressed, so that I just need to be happy.
That is actually, as a small segue, that is a perfect example of what we were just talking about with the Winter Soldier guy. The Red Guardian guy is great with everything he's got, if what he's given is halfway decent. And at least in this film, the expectations to be Red Guardian are not so hard, right? Because remember, that guy was also most recently Hellboy in a universally despised movie for not being Ron Perlman.
Well, I mean, there were many worse things in that movie than not being Ron Perlman.
Right, but that's why I bring it up, though, is that guy, good actor, capable, given shit, can't do anything with it.
You can't polish a turd.
Cannot polish a turd.
So
Now
in this movie, it has both really high and really low stakes. Like they do a version of the Avengers 1 fight where the team comes together and saves people, but like it's a bunch of debris. And I mean, sure, the debris is really heavy if you're not a Hulk, but it just feels super low stakes. And then out of nowhere, the Void just turns people into dust clouds. It's just a badly constructed, badly thought out factory of sadness.
Sounds kind of like a clusterfuck.
It is, and this is supposed to be the palette teaser for the Fantastic Four movie, which makes me deeply concerned that the Fantastic Four movie is also going to be retarded. And the Marvel Cinematic Universe is just going to collapse at Doomsday. They're going to have their Secret Wars, they're going to have their Doomsday, and instead of rebooting the Marvel Universe, it's like, we're going to wait 5 to 7 years to reboot everything because we just need to let the taste of this wash out of everybody's mouth collectively. That's what I think is going to happen now.
You know, like I said, they should have done after Endgame.
Well, there is another facet here that I think is pertinent, which is I don't think it'll happen. I'm not saying that they're not going to let it ride. They will, right? They'll let it lay fallow for a bit. But let's consider that way back when, pre-Disney, when Sam Raimi did Spider-Man and Blade came out and those sort of things, was the perfect storm of generational overlap because my parents were still alive, right, with their preferred style of comics, and I'm alive with my preferred style of comics, which was the stories that they were doing. Right?
And also, Sam Raimi tried to pull Punisher into the Spider-Man movies.
Right.
He wanted to have Hugh Jackman show up as Wolverine at the end of one of them too.
But here's what I'm getting at, though. If you then look at the progression, while I'm not saying that Church's children are not going to love comics, right? I don't think that there will be another generational lap of that sort with that level of interest in 5 to 10 years, or 10 to 15. I think that either we're all going to be posthumous or old enough we don't care anymore, right? And our children's, if indeed we have children's, and some of us do, will either be into something else and not be into superheroes, or if they are into comic book movies enough, they are going to be into something that is not whatever they're going to try and riff on next. I think they're gonna miss the boat because I think that they actually ruined the mix in the 11th hour.
I think that's a reasonable analysis of things. And Doctor Who found a new way to embarrass itself.
We're not just screwing up Doctor Who. We're finding new and interesting ways to screw up Doctor Who every time.
I thought last week was the end of it.
No. Oh God, no.
Oh.
There's like 5 more episodes to go, buddy.
So what you're saying is that's how many bottles of whiskey it needs.
So
you have to double it.
So the strongest thing they did to improve this episode.
So guys, I just got an emergency phone call from my doctor. Apparently, I have that new form of 5-week AIDS. So I'm not going to be able to make it to the next several shows.
No, I've heard of it. Isn't it called fades? Is it fades after 5 weeks?
Isn't it what?
Fades.
Oh yeah.
But
just like my haircuts.
The Doctor Who episode had the benefit of having almost none of the Black Gay Doctor in it, and also none of the annoying Indian nurse lady. So that was a strong opening improvement, but then they decided to make it worse.
Just to be annoying, can we just start calling her the Pakistani nurse lady?
I mean, I don't know enough about her ancestry to know if that's accurate.
Oh, no, because Indians and Pakistanis hate each other.
No, I know.
We split the difference because we don't know their origin, but we want to be obnoxious. She's Nursistani.
So the show is all about the companion from the last season and a podcast bro. And I knew the podcast bro was going to be the villain because he was a white male who was heterosexual. But it wasn't until the midpoint of the episode that we discovered he was a villain. Because his mission was to get into a honeypot situation with Ruby Sunday, the former Doctor Who companion, so he could expose UNIT to the internet and talk about how all this alien stuff was fake news.
Okay.
Even though he knew the alien stuff wasn't fake news. But he wanted to destroy it because he was angry that they wouldn't hire him for a job.
It's an overly elaborate revenge plot.
And then he goes to jail because he assaulted somebody to sneak into UNIT headquarters, and then gets released by the character who keeps talking.
Wait. He went to jail because of the assault, not for breaking into a government headquarters.
Right, because he had to shoot somebody to break into the government headquarters.
But it was that part that sent him to jail, not the breaking in.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And the character who breaks the fourth wall in the new era of Doctor Who breaks him out of jail, and it turns out if some of the leaked and rumored content is going to be, she's actually the Ronnie, the female Time Lord that everybody's been saying they totally need to bring her back. So Rusty Davies is planning to ruin the thing that the fans want. And so we have a whole episode about disinformation and incels and toxic white males, and it doesn't feature the Doctor. It is impressively embarrassing.
And yet again, because we've been talking about this for since 2016, it is an example of media expressly being made to spite the people who like it, not for the people who like it. Like, liking things is a crime.
Yes. It's all about how we need to do better, Senator. To quote Captain Falcon.
Well, because here's the thing. This is always the thing. Is, you get into conversations with people, and they're like, "Well, why can't you just let people like things? Why can't you just let things be? Why do you got to be so negative and counter and blah 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 blah?" Right? I'm not a Doctor Who fan. Okay, I'm just objectively not. I know a person who loves the garbage they're putting out right now, but this is the kind of person who eats anything Doctor Who and has no discernment about what they eat. Right? And fans want this female Time Lord for whatever reason. They want this character to come back. So it is so easy. Just have that character come back and have that character be awesome. Have that character be something you like. Why would you go out of your way to make that character both unlikable and then say now you have to put up with it? Knowing it's going to hurt your brand. Knowing it's going to piss off fans, knowing that the only people that will accept it are the people that are so dogmatically aligned to the thing you already have that they'll just eat it. Because quite frankly, the evidence should have shown by now that modern audience, right, this wellspring of viewers that's going to come out of nowhere, don't fucking exist. They don't. They're not watching Doctor Who now. They're not going to watch Doctor Who because you changed it because they don't want to watch Doctor Who. They're already watching something else.
I mean, I'm doing my part by watching Doctor Who through pirating, so that other people who might be interested in Doctor Who can listen to me tell them how bad it is.
Right.
I mean, now I know that like it's a BBC show and it's all publicly funded and stuff, but
No, not anymore. The BBC is getting funded by Disney, and Disney is hired a company that's owned by Sony to run Doctor Who.
okay, I feel like we need one of those whiteboards with like the strings attached to the different tacks connecting everything.
So
follow this trail.
So Russell T Davies said, "Listen, you guys shit the bed with the female Doctor Who. I'm going to set up a company to make Doctor Who for you." And they're all like, "Great, we're going to give you the license." He then sold that company to Sony, and then he and Sony went to Disney saying, "Hey, listen, how would you like to have exclusive the day after rights to this product after we show it on the BBC?" And Disney's like, "Great, here's your money to film your show with." And he's like, "Okay, but just to let you know, it's going to be super gay." And Disney's like, "Well, great, we love it being super gay."
Well, and that actually leads into my question. Theoretically, who is this show supposed to be for?
It's for people who work in Hollywood. It validates their lifestyle.
Hey, Ayrton, you know those people that when you used to see them, you just automatically knew, even if they were male, that they went home and sucked some dick?
Yeah.
That's who the show is for. You're the second word in a good tower.
Mm-hmm.
I should have screenshotted that. That was a good one.
It was. It was.
It was.
You know, we were in sync right there.
But realistically, who are they claiming the show is for? Like,
it's for the modern audience. They believe that
it's
late millennials.
that D&D is still for.
Yeah, they believe it's for like Zoomy Zooms and late millennials, even though Zoomy Zooms don't care. So, Church, I believe you had a punishment review you're wanting to afflict us with because I'm talking about Doctor Who.
A punishment review? What are you referring to exactly?
It was some Archie comic.
Oh no, I didn't read that. I was being hyperbolic. I did read something though.
Oh, what'd you read?
I saw that we have a new ongoing event in Marvel Comics, starring one of my favorite characters.
Which ongoing event?
One World Under Doom.
That I know the event's happening, but it has not looked appealing to me, so I have not gotten it.
So, I read the first issue, and I'm cautiously optimistic about moving forward and with the event. Like I took a couple of days to kind of process, sit down, maybe have a nap, think about it. But it opens up, and there's some newspaper clipping.
Did you jerk off too? Because you should always have post-nut clarity before making this type of decision.
Right. That's the mistake I made probably, but I'm going to continue on. But anyway, it opens up. Doctor Doom's the Sorcerer Supreme. Okay, this has happened before. He's got the cape, so whatever. But you get some news articles, some Latvian press office releases, and you find that there's ongoing war happening, and you get a kind of a rundown of who the players are in this issue. So you got Doom, Emperor Doom, Sorcerer Supreme. You got Baron Zemo as his right hand. You've got the Avengers with Captain Marvel, Captain America Sam Wilson, Captain America Steve Rogers, Scarlet Witch, Vision, Thor, Iron Man, Storm, and Black Widow. Why we need 2 Captain Americas, not so sure. You got the Fantastic Four with
don't
5
forget
members.
don't forget that Storm and Doom have had an on again, off again thing.
Well, they erased that because Doom's a white boy. Fantastic Four with 5 members: Mr. Fantastic, the Invisible Woman, the Human Torch, the Thing, and Alicia Masters. And Squirrel Girl, Nancy Whitehead, whoever the fuck that is, Brain Drain, never heard of him, Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange are all also tangentially involved somehow. So, you open up, Doom's doing a press conference, saying shit. I'll just read this page here. It's a little long-winded, but it's very doomy. So, you rush platitudes like drowning men swarming from a lifeboat. 2 peaceful nations will not choose to go to war with one another. You tell yourselves that repetition makes it true. Yet even superficial glance at history proves it. Government will not save you. But no 2 countries colonized by the same fast food franchises have ever attacked each other. You please.
That's actually been disproven, unfortunately.
And this is equally untrue. Capitalism will not save you, cannot save you. Nothing can save you, save for the enlightened rule of a single person who can make the hard choices. One who is above being bribed, being corrupted, who does not care about petty comforts and confound of other men. Doom is above money. Doom is above desire. Doom is above all.
I thought you didn't like me.
In his magnanimity, in his pity, in his greatness, Doom will save you. And that's how we enter this comic book. That's the opening. So there's a flag of Doom Supreme Rule. The green cross with what looks like Spawn's face mask on it. It's pretty cool. But basically, he's broadcasting to the entire world, letting know that there will be no war, there will be no strife. Everyone will submit to Doom's power. Every nation's government. It will be one world under Latveria. And obviously, the Avengers and the Fantastic Four are sitting around going, well, this isn't going to work for us. So, Baron Zemo is plotting in the background, moving Hydra to, take power from Doomstat. Obviously, Doom has killed Baron Zemo and replaced him with a Doombot. No one knows this until the end of the book. But Zemo moves Hydra under Doom's will. I'm surprised that Tony Stark and his enhanced technology can't detect a fucking Doombot from a mile away by now.
Well, that's because Doom has magic to make that not happen.
Yeah, Doctor Strange definitely isn't here.
well, Doom has technology to block Doctor Strange.
But Tony Stark definitely isn't here. Give me another Squirrel Girl's here, for fuck's sake. There should be nothing stopping them. But basically, he cons the Avengers into becoming bad guys, killing a bunch of Hydra agents. And
hold up. How does killing Hydra agents make you bad guys?
Because there's casualties.
Right, but they're Hydra agents.
Yeah, but you find out that they're being led by a robot, and basically Doom set them up on a world stage to, be assholes for going against him and causing casualties.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, Doom forgives, and rides in on a fucking Doom dinosaur and finishes taking out the Hydra agents. Literally the most awesome comic book panel I've seen in years.
To be fair, if there was a world leader who rode in on a dinosaur, they win. Like,
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
just-
I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
he definitely have a that's a strong position to be in.
there we go. It's a
Not gonna
Doom
lie.
dinosaur,
yeah,
not just a dinosaur. It's a Doom dinosaur. So, I mean, got look what looks like James Bond's golden gun. So,
Nice.
I mean, he is in a position of supreme power. But I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic about it because after all this shit goes down, he restores all the destruction and damage, and goes to save some refuge. Or he starts to restore some of the destruction and damage, and then has to finish eliminating the threats of Hydra. And he's reaching towards a mother and her child to save them from some falling debris and wreckage, and she, repeats, "And only Doom can save us." So this
So
is,
they're actually going in to be pro-Trump now. Interesting
oh yeah,
choice.
oh yeah, it's absolutely what we're dealing with here, and I'm interested to see where it goes. But we've got One World Under Doom, Doom Academy, Thunderbolts, Doom Strike. So this is a big event that's just stretching over several different titles, but One World Under Doom is the main overarching plot. Uh,
it's a strong opening.
I
I'll
mean,
give you that.
it is. Again, I don't know if it's actually there as a story though. It seems like a little. I don't know. Like with Secret Wars, we had, and again, they could have been building up to this, and I missed it. But with Hickman's last Secret Wars book, we had 5 years worth of comics building to the crescendo of this event. The last big event that we had in Marvel, wasn't that the King in Black?
Oh, they've had a whole bunch of events.
That's a
None
big
of them are
event.
any good.
This is the apex of an ongoing problem that has been talked about since Black Phoenix, I want to say, or Dark Phoenix rather, which is that they started the event spiral, and it has only escalated, and it is now 4 events a year with an eventual crowning event that has to happen to reset because they've
Mhm.
broken their own canon so hard that they can't keep going.
So,
And so much of them are slop, nobody cares. I mean, it's hard to keep track of how many events have occurred.
so I pulled up a wiki page. So, 2024 events: X-Men from the Ashes, which was the reboot of the Krakoa era. The Venom War event. Blood Hunt was in 2024. They were doing vampires because we were supposed to have a big Blade movie that didn't happen. Fall of the House of X, Symbiosis Necrosis, Infinity Watch, and Vostok 7. So those were the 7 events that happened last year. And Vostok 7 is an event that was connected to the new Hickman thing about how Reed Richards created new gods in the universe. And there are 2 X-Men events that have happened so far this year and One World Under Doom.
That's what I'm saying. Like, at what point did we get to Doom being Sorcerer Supreme and the entire Emperor of all? Like, how did we go from 10 years ago, Doom having a new lease on life, being a good guy, to his, heel turn back into God Emperor Doom?
I mean, I can tell you, Church. It's very simple. It's because a guy named Majors hit a woman real hard.
I mean, is that not what you're supposed to do?
This is entirely a Hollywood problem. Even if there are supporting stories, and I'm not saying there aren't, the fact of the matter is that they're pushing a Doom event because they're pushing a Doom movie, because they're trying to get people excited for RDJ Doom as quickly as possible so that they can make a movie and maybe salvage their cinematic universe. And they have to do it on the quick because they can't do Kang, because nobody wants Kang, because Kang is toxic, because the star they had being Kang, rather than just be a rich guy who's making money hand over fist, decided, you know what? I need to go publicly assault someone, and I need to get caught doing it in a post-Me Too world. This story might be good, but it has nothing to do with whether or not Doom is awesome, and everything to do with please love Doom. Love Doom for us, because we can always make Doom money.
But again, if a world leader rides up on a dinosaur,
I mean, that is strong argument.
I'm there
You
for it.
immediately pledge fealty to him. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised
it's-
Putin hasn't done that yet.
Well,
to
no,
be
he
honest.
did. He didn't ride a dinosaur, but if you recall, way back when, Putin not only used to ride around shirtless on like horses, but there were photoshops of him riding a bear, and Putin himself was like, I approve of this. I would do this if I could. He understood the notes that even if you're a third world dictator in a fallen klepto state, you can get some quick, hard cash of political currency just by leaning into how awesome memes are.
Yeah. I mean, he's also, my favorite video of him is at some event and some chick runs up topless with a sign that says like I love you or whatever, and as his security grabs her and escorts her off, he like gives her like 2 thumbs up and like winks at her.
Right.
Like,
my personal favorite bit of awesome Putinism is he met a football guy. The football guy showed him the ring. He handed him the ring. Putin's like, "Oh, nice," and Putin just pockets it and keeps going.
that, or he notoriously he loves dogs, and
Right.
he has like those giant like Russian bear hunting dogs are his favorite. Well, no, it gets better.
Go ahead.
So I don't know if she's still the Chancellor of Germany, the Angela Merkel. Yeah.
No, she's not.
No. She's gone. The guy who replaced her is gone, and the guy who replaced that guy is soon to be gone.
Okay. Well, anyways, she's notoriously terrified of dogs. So when she visited St. Petersburg, he just let his dogs like free roam in the palace. So you see shots of him sitting there petting this giant ass dog, and she's all like cowered over into like the side of her chair. Like, it's so funny.
Here's the thing, because this, oddly enough, I have to bring up something weird about this. It is the night and day difference, as you guys have said, that Marvel is leaning towards a pro-Trump stance, presumably for survival. In the previous decade or so, you had Red Skull as Trump stand-in saying stupid things that were very MAGA to try and own the trads, and it wasn't working because all you had done was having Red Skull, a actual Nazi who's an actual villain, saying things that make sense, and people were like, I can't fault his logic. He's a bad guy, but he's not wrong. Right? But
now you have Doom saying Trump things.
Right. But recently I did see a clip from a recent comic somewhere, and somebody knew how to Red Skull. Right? It's Red Skull talking to a guy, and the guy is talking about or he's talking to the guy about shooting this person, right, for their inadequacies because he's a fucking Nazi. And the guy said, yeah, but it's a kid, right? Because it's a kid. And so the last panel is Red Skull gently pushing the guy's arm down and says, yes, that's why you need to aim lower. Right? And it's like, oh, we remember that the Red Skull is a piece of shit. Nice! Not because I like Red Skull, but because I want to see my villains be villainous. Right?
I mean that's not too much to ask, right?
I'm just saying, alongside our heroes not being heroic because they were all being soy latte whiners for the better part of a decade, we had villains that couldn't really be villains because we decided that instead of actual evil, they just had to be people who disagree with you politically. Right? Doom is, as a character, sort of that perfect mixture that you love Doom because Doom says the smart thing, right? But Doom is also a classic world-conquering mad scientist. We don't want Doom to win. We want Doom to be impressive enough that when people beat him, we feel good about it.
Well, my favorite thing about Doom as the world conquering scientist is it's been established several times that Doom ends up defeating himself as the world conquering scientist because he doesn't want to actually do the work of running the world. And I mean, who would, honestly?
Right. Because he's a literally a tin-plated Alexander. Anytime he gets it, he immediately says the same thing, which is, and Alexander wept for there were no more worlds to conquer. He has nothing else to do but become a cosmic or a galactic threat thereafter, because Earth will not fill the hole in his heart.
Speaking of holes in hearts, I also finished reading Medieval Spawn #1.
I heard good things about
Oh,
that.
I thought you had an update on Ethan Ralph.
Oh,
Well, no, Ethan Ralph had surfaced.
yeah, that happened like the day after we did our show.
I mean, we could also talk about how Johnny Somali got his shit kicked in by a random Korean dude.
Again?
And when the Korean dude got arrested, he was like, "I just did what I felt I had to do," and he has a massive bail, and people are already talking about how they're going to help fund his bail because they don't think that guy should be in jail for kicking the shit out of that dipshit.
So, Medieval Spawn #1 follows the path of a knight who discovers a young boy astray from his village, and the boy saying his village has been overrun by demons. So they feed the boy, they follow him to his village, and they say, "Oh, it must be this guy. What was his name? Fitzroy."
Yeah.
They say it must be Fitzroy. He left our camp. He stole an amulet, killed a bunch of people, and now I feel like this is his doing. They track the village. They get into the village. There's over 200 demons that have basically been spawned from the people who were living there.
Mm-hmm.
There was a portal open when they finally find Fitzroy after one of the camp or one of the medieval spawn people, one of his encampment, whatever you call him, his party, die.
His merry men.
Yes, one of his merry men die. So you have some loss there. So you're invested now. Um, they find the knight. Medieval spawn approaches him. Rune is playing cookie clicker. I see you there, bro.
I mean, I can open it. I actually had it open overnight last night, and it didn't. It closed when my computer rebooted itself. So I'm just opening it in the background.
But they find this guy opening up a portal with this amulet. Medieval spawn goes to attack him from behind, which is a bitch move, but he gets noticed. Then they have a little fight. The kid shoots the bad guy in the eye with an arrow, saving medieval spawn from some kind of hellish magic. Medieval spawn gets the upper hand and kills the knight. Then explains that the demon or god Abraxas has been freed from his prison and deceived this knight. So now there's the hunt for Abraxas. They let the kid join their band of merry men, and there's the ominous foretelling. If I only knew how much suffering and pain this decision would have unleashed, deciding to train the boy, I would have killed him right then and there. And that's how it ends. So
do you think the boy's going to be Cagliostro?
no, I think medieval spawn's still Cagliostro because I mean until we're like given like until he becomes the second medieval spawn, because there can exist two hell spawns on the Earth plane at one time. McFarlane did have some participation in the cover of this one.
Well, that's good.
Um, He is the creative director, but the script and plot were by Roy McConville. The art was by Marco Itri, and the color was Ulysses Areola.
Okay.
Areola?
I'm pretty
Areola.
sure everything but the script was subbed out to South America. But what are you gonna do? Art looks good. Art looks great. Colors look great. It's very digital. It's not as clean as old McFarlane art was. Doesn't have that same edge to it. It's very by the numbers, but it's not bad, which, I mean, is really all you can ask for these days. John Dillard should have drawn it. That would have been better, but I don't know if John Dillard wants to put out 30 pages
Boo.
every month, especially when
Well,
he's
he
blind.
can't see.
I can see what you're doing, piece of shit.
But yeah, no, I'll keep following it and see what we end up with. Like I said, I still think that the medieval spawn says his name is John. I have no reason to believe that's not John Cagliostro yet. So
I mean, that would be Giovanni Cagliostro because it's an Italian name.
I mean, I posit to you that the deep dark secret is no, it is in fact John Dillard.
And besides,
Well,
Italians aren't real people, so
here's the thing: they're in medieval like England. So where would they run across an Italian boy named Giovanni there either, unless this is an Italian man forced back into service from hell?
Well, serious question. Where in the wider world are they again? What part of
This is medieval world? This is medieval, like England, Europe. So it'd be like Spain, England.
So it's not impossible.
Yeah, those countries are pretty close to each other.
It's not impossible for an Italian to find their way up into England.
I mean, Italians get everywhere.
It does depend on where in England, because if they're like in Wessex, I'm sorry.
I mean, right? Listen, those fucking bisexual Italians were a bane for the Celtic people for a long time. So
this is true, but no, I don't think any of that. The medieval
Rune, stop pretending that people know about England. We know that there's like one city in England that's pretty famous. That's about it.
Yeah, the one where they serve the potatoes with tuna.
The cute little tiny island.
Wessex, for God's sake.
I mean, Wessex is just West Saxon because those were the people.
I remember watching a movie one time where some guy was like, "They sacked York." I was like, "Oh, there's more than one city in England. I forgot."
Right. Why don't they call it Old York if we have New York? What the fuck's up with that?
We should make them name it Old York.
So I would like
remember, we live in a Trump era, so we just need to convince the president to rename it on our maps Old York, and then they'll just have to do it.
Exactly.
Because everybody cares about the Gulf of America, right?
So I want to
absolutely, I do.
Reopen a point of debate that we frequently have on this show that was alluded to earlier. From a Twitter post from Nerd Wonder. I figured out why. Spider-Man is supposed to be the hero who is simple. He doesn't need money or magic. He learns to defeat the foe with his hard work and cleverness. He works hard even when scorned. Miles has none of that. He has a silver spoon. He gets OP powers and granted incredible gifts by the powerful. Everything in his life goes right. There's no struggle or trial he faces. Everyone there supports him and showers him with gifts. That's not Spider-Man. That's why he will never be a longtime reader favorite. He's more of an industry plant built by popular buzzwords and Tumblr popular statistics. So what do you think about this explanation for why people like me and Rune and also Ayrton disagree with Miles Morales?
I mean, that sounds like a solid set of arguments. I also think that they don't want to address the 8,000-pound gorilla in the room.
I mean, that sounds pretty racist.
It is. In fact, it's accidentally a turn of phrase that's racist. Ayrton hit the
I just don't think it's as difficult as all that. I just think Miles Morales is Miles Morales, not Spider-Man. And that's the big issue.
Well, what I was touching on is the idea that the people who make Miles Morales think that Miles Morales being a man of color is his struggle, but then they don't emphasize it or show it in any way. Like, he doesn't deal with daily racism, because that would
look at the icon there of the Church of Failure, right? His icon,
right?
And then I tell you see that icon right there? That's Dillard's icon.
Okay.
And you'd be like, what? Shut up! No, it isn't. Just shut the fuck up and go.
Right.
Don't act stupid. That's exactly what they're doing to everybody.
Right. But then, as I say, the problem as I see it, the further step, is that in addition to that stupid, and we all agree it's stupid, they want to then turn around and say,
no, that's Dillard's icon.
Right, because Dillard made it. But they also want to say, it's like, if you say Miles Morales doesn't have any problems, it's like, well, his dad's a cop and he's a black man in New York and he's got problems because he's a black man in New York. It's like,
I mean, his dad being a cop is a problem, but
it's a problem for me.
But it's not a problem for Miles Morales. If anything, we look at it and go, dude, your dad's a cop. What are you complaining about? He's a cop in New York.
And, Miles' parents are able to live in a nice enough place where he can go to a good prep school.
It's like, you can give this guy all the realistic problems in the world, but you're still giving Miles Morales problems, not Spider-Man.
Well, let's also take into account that Ultimate Universe Miles Morales was fine. It was when the fucking Molecule Man in his infinite power decided, okay, you gave me a cheeseburger, so not only am I going to move you over to the mainline universe, but I'm also going to give you your mom back. Or your dad back, whichever one was dead. I forget which one had died. But, so literally all of his problems just got erased because of an 8-week-old cheeseburger.
To be fair, if I had superpowers and you gave me a cheeseburger, I'd probably use them to do whatever you wanted.
That's fair. That's fair. But but the thing is, it's like, the post is absolutely right. I mean, the character's had literally negative hardship as a character since he's entered the mainline series.
Which is actually extra funny, because I was talking recently and I said that Marvel loves its heroes with problems. Heroes with problems was the thing that made their brand. It defined them as different from DC, who have more sort of iconically sort of mythic heroes who they don't have personal problems.
When was the last time Batman couldn't pay off the cops?
Right, exactly.
Bruce Wayne lost his money how many times, and that's affected him being Batman exactly how many times?
Exactly none, yeah.
Let's not forget also what they did in Justice League, the cartoon, where Batman just made a space station, a multi-billion-dollar space station, before he even assembled the Justice League.
Right.
No one even questioned it. Like, Superman wasn't like, what you doing?
And they made Mexico pay for it.
Well, no, they only made Mexico pay for the gold plating.
Your microphone sounds like a fart.
Good.
Also, on Spider-Man content that came across my desk is, did you hear what Chris Claremont said about One More Day?
No.
I didn't hear what he specifically said about One More Day. I did know that he said a number of things, some of which were stupid. Oh, no, yes, I did. This is about the marriage.
Yes.
Oh, it's the height of fucking bullshit.
Chris Claremont said that only Reed and Sue Storm should be married. Once a character like Spider-Man is married and settles down, he becomes less engaging for a reader. So Church, how many different characters in X-Men got married during Chris Claremont's run?
No. I mean, yes, ask Church that, but better question.
It is
How
true
many
though. After
Church that, but better question.
It is
How
true
many
though. After
times-
Church got married, gee whiz.
But no.
Yeah,
This,
right.
I think this is the better question. Chris Claremont, if you are watching this, how many times has Scott Summers been married, motherfucker?
No.
Scott Summers been
Well,
married
that's
at
his
least
whole
3
point.
times.
How many
Hey.
times you marry him and then you get rid of it?
Well, Scott Summers was married twice under Chris Claremont's
Did he also
tenure
marry
running the
Emma
X-Men.
Frost?
Right, but that was after Chris Claremont. I'm more focusing on the fact that that happened twice under Chris Claremont.
Right.
You know who else got married? Havoc and Polaris.
And didn't destroy the soup at all.
Right?
Didn't
So,
Chuck get married to Lalandra?
sure did during Chris Claremont's tenure on X-Men.
Wolverine and Storm were married in not the Savage Age, but the alternate reality.
Age of Apocalypse.
Yep.
Well, no, but that's-
Claremont, but still.
Yeah.
And Wolverine that fool needs to get vaccinated. That fool be
But, I
coming
mean-
down with jungle fever and yellow fever.
But during the Chris Claremont
he also
tenure,
has a thing for redheads.
well, hold up.
Well,
During the Chris
everybody has a
Claremont
thing
area,
for redheads, Church.
I mean, yeah, it's a strong fetish. But no, I mean, also during the Chris Claremont era, Wolverine and Mariko got married.
Yep.
Now let's be clear, and it's almost being fair. Those are relationships often which fail. So getting married and then losing the marriage is a powerful storytelling contrivance. But there's an important difference in that, as a for instance, Wolverine married Mariko, and then Mariko was fucking murdered, right?
Right.
And he went on a roaring rampage of revenge about it, right?
And Scott's high school girlfriend came back from the dead, and he divorced his wife, which was kind of a dick move for
Kind of
Scott.
weird, yeah.
Fucking based.
But then, let's see, what did Spider-Man do? My grandma's dying finally, or my Aunt May is dying finally, and I just can't handle it. Mary Jane, would you please sell my marriage to Satan? They're not the same.
It's not even that. Peter couldn't make the decision, so Mary Jane just made it for him.
Right.
Typical Peter.
She, in fact, metaphysically cucked her own husband to Satan.
That sounds like some white women shit to me.
I mean, that's some shit that some white men are into.
Listen, he probably has a weird like animal type dick that has like the wizard sleeve on it, like a red rocket
Give me
type
any
thing.
shit. I seen you guys.
So-
I seen you guys out there kissing boots and shit. You guys are
But also, you know who else in the Marvel universe got married? Hulk and Betty.
gross.
Yep, and when he was smart Hulk, they were just kind of walking around, being married.
Just being normal.
Yep. Well,
You know who-
normal
you know-
you can be as an 8-foot fucking green monster.
I mean, that's basically like, 50% bigger Brock Lesnar. And he's married to Sable.
This is true.
Matter of point, even though they are not together, being married or not is an important plot point to my boy Eddie Brock, because he's estranged from his wife, because she's just like, no, I'm not going to be married with you, your reputation, and your fucking symbiote.
Mm-hmm. But she's not in her own son's life, and so Mary Jane and Paul are having to take care of the son, which is weird.
Man, Mary Jane's a hoe. Fuck Mary Jane.
Oh, you're going to talk about Paul.
Well, no, we're going to talk about how Mary Jane and Venom are together, because otherwise they both die.
More importantly, I just want to throw this out there, because I mentioned it, but I didn't have the word count for it. That panel, if we pull up those panels, if you dig up those panels, is the quintessential attack on fans.
Hmm?
Do you have the panel? Do we have that? Do we have the
Give me a
receipt on
second.
fans?
I got to find it. Give me a second here.
I think it's actually in the chat, so I'm like, yeah, we
It
should actually
is.
pull this up.
It is. Here we go. Found it. Do.
Like, I saw
One of
this, and I put it together, and I was like, holy shit, this is deep, but it's not obvious. It's not subtle, but it's
Oh,
not obvious.
there's a new feature for sharing. I'm going to have to use that in the future going forward.
Okay.
I can just share images apparently now.
Oh,
So I'm
nice.
going to need to start doing that. So
Okay.
1 second. All right, go here. We go here. We go over here. All right. And we see MJ fighting some stuff, blasting it.
Yes.
And here it is.
All right. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. You look at those top two panels with Venom not only sitting with his legs spread like the quote aggressive male that he is, right? Literally the sit here queen position, but he's got his arm around the arm of the couch to touch MJ for their connection in a very I possess this kind of way. Okay? I postulate to you this was the artist and the author making a statement about the fans. Okay? It's not that anything's wrong with Paul. It's not that anything's wrong with MJ. It's not that anything's wrong with Spider-Man, although there are many things wrong with these things in this current organization, right? But we, the viewer, are the venom. We're the poison because we want them to be connected again. And our unwillingness to relinquish Mary Jane and Peter Parker is why she has the Venom symbiote now.
I was going to make the argument that they were saying that her relationship with Peter is the toxic Venom symbiote in this situation.
No, it is, but that's also us. We're responsible because we're the ones that won't grow up and move on. We're the bad kids.
I mean, it's weird how, being married and having a family is considered not growing up. That's a weird flex.
Right.
And of course, iDubbbz and Anissa have pulled out of Creator Clash.
Yeah.
Because that video with Hassan was super duper toxic. So that's a thing. Let me see what else.
Something funnier to talk about would be the idea of Daredevil and Batman teaming up together in a comic book.
I mean, they are going to be doing some more DC Marvel crossovers. Warner and Disney signed a position paper to get that set up. So we could see that.
Now, if there was a new amalgam and you put those two together, would it be called Dareman or Bat Devil?
Bat Devil. It would obviously be Bat Devil.
I kind of like Dareman.
Bat Devil's a good name, and clearly, I think the actual answer is you do the two origin stories smashed together. So Bruce Wayne is a young man with a rich family who are shot in an alley, right? And as the attacker flees, Bruce Wayne is like shoved into a barrel of illicitly stored or improperly stored chemicals and is horrifically blinded.
He also drops his 4 pet turtles. That's also a crucial part of this.
I mean, we'll keep that on the down low, but yeah, no. And then years later, after recovery, right, he is not only the world's best detective and has taught himself moral martial arts and traveled the globe and all the usual things, right?
He also got a law degree.
And got a law degree. But he has figured out how to use his hearing as an echolocation power like a bat.
That story sounds stupid.
You mean because you didn't write it, Dillard, or because you haven't been approached to draw it for money?
Both.
Okay.
Look. If Marvel Comics were to come and say, "Hey, Mr. John Dillard, I know you're a kind of edgelord comic book artist, but we need you to draw some stuff."
Okay,
You're talking to me, but I don't have no coffee in my hand.
Look, I want to be 100% clear because I've mentioned this before. I have a personal prohibition. I do not drink the alcohol majols. I do not booze. Okay, I am the straight arrow of this group. However, the day that John Dillard comes on this show and informs us as a collective that he has been picked up by a major comics peoples and is going to do major comics, that is a day I will have a drink.
I really don't care if I get picked up by Marvel or DC.
Oh, I know you don't care at all.
Or
but
Image,
if you did,
or by Joe Schmo on the corner, whoever's paying me the most money is where I'm gonna go.
oh yeah, but I'm saying if you got picked up by some,
This would be a major opportunity for you. I don't give a fuck. Give me money. I'm old.
I can pay you $17.
Give me more money than $17.
Oh, that's great. Give me money. I have $17. Give me more money.
Hey, listen, that's more than what I offered to buy Marvel off of Disney for, so.
It's true.
I'm honored.
So is this the part of the show where Ayrton brings his horrors beyond human comprehension? Have we reached that part of the show?
Let's see. Oh, we should watch that Bulbasaur AI video.
Oh, you're talking about the how to cook?
Can somebody else pull that video up?
How to serve man.
It's a cookbook. A cookbook. I don't know about this video, so I can't help.
Give me a second. It is in the chat. Give me a second. Why are you being this way, computer?
What favor?
Here we go. I find. All right.
What is Ayrton doing? Is he washing his mayonnaise?
No, it's mayo in the sink.
All right.
Tomorrow's Cinco de Mayo.
Oh! Oh my god. I thought he was just being like, I'm super white. I even wash my mayonnaise.
No, that would be a black person.
Not only do I wash my chicken, I wash my mayonnaise.
But Ayrton, you pull that link up there.
If my computer will cooperate today.
I mean, we need to crowdfund for Ayrton to get a better potato.
Well, technically, it's my internet box at this new place. It just.
So, in other words, we need to get you a better potato that connects to your potato.
No, you need to raise enough money so that he can move and get a better house that already has good internet.
I mean, he's not in Michigan anymore, so he has materially improved where he's living.
It's thinking about loading.
It's 2025. The only thing that matters is your internet connection. It's more important than water or power to your house. More important than sewage.
Sorry.
Especially if your name is Al Gore.
Bob
I heard that he rode the mighty moonworm. How come George Washington's face on the quarter has changed, hasn't it?
A little bit.
He used to be so fat. Now they gave him like this chiseled jaw.
What happened to the image, to the link? I saw it there for a second, then it went away.
It was okay. There we go. It wasn't loading. I got it to load now. Hold on. Let's see if this works.
I mean, I can do it. Share my screen.
No, we got it. We get on it.
Today we're frying Bulbasaur, Hong Kong style. He's selected from a local wet market and brought to the kitchen for processing. To minimize stress, he's put to sleep.
Oh, damn it.
All right, let's use John's internet connection because that's probably not. It's probably not AIDS.
All right, here you go.
All right, a second. We have so many people that the screen is now at the bottom. There we go.
You ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Today we're frying Bulbasaur, Hong Kong style. He's collected from a local wet market and brought to the kitchen for processing. To minimize stress, he's put to sleep before preparation. Then he's chopped into pieces. The plant bulb on his back is recycled. Farmers use it to grow trees for a greener planet. The meat is seasoned with salt and shallow fried until golden and crispy. Finally, it's served fresh at a dim sum restaurant. Today we're frying Bulbasaur.
Wait a minute. I have a question. Just
Sure.
a cognitive problem. Wouldn't you use the recycled Bulbasaur bulb to grow new Bulbasaur?
I mean, I don't know how
Well,
that
it
works.
would grow on trees, right? Because it's a plant.
Oh, right. The Bulbasaur is just the seed pod. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, get
Oh,
real,
no.
Rune.
Uh-oh. Ayrton pulled up something else good here.
I don't know if it's good. It's something just to tide us over while I see what else I got.
Oh, did you want me to share this as well?
Yes, please.
Here we go. Let me know when it's up.
That's it.
We just got the RV.
Well, I need insurance on the vehicle. I don't care who owns it. You look familiar.
Yeah. You watch gay porn?
I'm keeping that one in the back of my head.
There is one way that could have been better. Is if you ask the cop, do you watch gay porn or perform?
Well, no, I mean, there is a subsect of porn performers who do it in an RV. They go around the country.
Look, I'm just
There
saying.
is?
I'm just saying, if you're a performer and you happen to see a guy's dick up close, you don't forget it.
That's man. I could have made a lot more money when I was doing that RV thing if I would have known that.
Yeah. You could have been a touring show, so to speak.
The only other thing I really got is a new Stuffy Bunny video.
Are you familiar with the lore of this show of Stuffy Bunny?
I am
John?
not. No.
You know who Stuffy Bunny is. Used to play it over on.
I mean, if I did, I don't anymore. I must.
They used to play it over on Einbrecht and Prime show.
I never watched that show. You know that.
You were on the show.
I mean, that's why I didn't watch it, because he was on.
you were
I must
on
have blocked that out of my memory.
You were on it with me watching this chick.
So
maybe if you pull it up, I'll remember. But,
well, I mean, it's there for you to pull up to share with the people.
Oh, okay, I'll do that. Right?
You see, Ayrton had an idea for a podcast, and we now throw that stuff. Oh no!
Look at that belly roll. One tubby.
And I'm having 10 hot dogs. I have.
So before we get into this, I just feel the need to share something with you guys.
Have some.
I recently, within the last week, fell down.
10 hot dogs yourself?
No, I fell down, as I am wont to do, being a little cripple boy, and I broke my chair. So I had to get out my old office chair so that I could have some place to sit. But my old office chair was killing my back. So my boss bought me and has sent me a replacement office chair. And while you watch this offensive content, I'm going to go put together a chair because I'd rather do housework than watch Stuffy Bunny abuse.
Wait, how did your
herself.
boss know that you needed a chair?
Because I told him this is why I was having
Oh,
trouble.
you whiner.
Well, no, he wanted to know, why am I late? Why have I been not putting out output? It's like, because my chair sucks.
Horror! I doubt I'll ever really recover.
Also, doesn't 10 hot dogs seem like a low amount for her?
See the conditions
Yeah.
I'm living in?
And I have
With the bread,
not sure how I'm going to apply the mustard since it's not really squirty.
Oh, you can't imagine the unspeakable things I've suffered.
I have a spoon. Mm-hmm. Okay, here's before. I've really not eaten much today. I had croissant.
Is it? This is from Stuffy's channel, right?
Yeah.
So her editor is in on the joke with the rest of us.
I believe so. I mean, she knows what she's doing. It's
And my first hot dog. I do love a good hot dog. Yeah.
I mean, I heard fat chicks do like good hot dogs, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh my god, I forgot the mayo.
Wait, hold up.
Yeah, I put too much sauce. My god, I forgot the mayo.
What the hell? Which one is it? This is a big deal. They're not at all similar.
Tastes good. Oh.
I mean, I dig this new.
I have a question for you guys. As a Mexican minority, right? We don't really eat hot dogs, and when we do, it's always like on a barbecue. But I've seen hot dogs in water, like they're boiling them. How are you supposed to make a hot dog?
You're supposed to barbecue.
You're supposed to grill it.
Now, here's the thing, though. What some people will do is they will partially cook it by boiling it and then finish it with grilling it.
Or cast iron skillet. That's a good way
I've
too.
also seen them like in like an oven at like an AM PM gas station, like on a
like
rotisserie.
the rollers.
You can boil, you can grill, and you can skillet. You can also bake.
So you just make it hot, basically.
Yeah, you're basically making hot meat.
Okay.
Hence the name hot dog.
Of course, hot dog implies that there's a cold dog.
Summer sausage.
Oh, I thought cold dog was just, it lives with you and it plays fetch. Because you don't eat those dogs.
Okay, I have some mayo.
Yeah, no. You, sir, have lost my business.
Can't believe I forgot
I'm not saying it's true, but I am curious if the new editor has seen our work and that's why he started doing this.
You see, here's the thing.
Shut up! I'm so scared right now. You shut up!
We are not the only people who are Stuffy Bunny appreciators.
I don't appreciate this. I don't appreciate this at all. You subject me to this.
Or just good old mustard. Oh, nice.
All right. This was mostly just so I could try and get something else pulled up that I'm having to do a really roundabout way of getting a link for.
Well, I think Stuffy's got a boyfriend, actually.
Someone who should really be
The
saying,
mayo kind of tones down the mustard, which is good.
She's got an OnlyFans too.
Striking too late again.
Yeah, no. By the way, John, you are aware she has an OnlyFans where she has additional food content and additional fat content.
Additional fat content.
Yes.
Jesus Christ, how much chair is in here? For fuck's sake.
We should just stream the rest of the show just Rune trying to put this chair together.
Lines that are designed to, I guess, negate the tummy. But people ask to see me in this more so.
I mean, if my house was viable for viewing, I would propose that it's better to look at than this. It's just not titillating unless people like watching gimps do home improvement.
Listen, there's a fetish for everything.
So this is a combination of
fucking cow stuffing fat face.
So this is a combination of cosplay, fat fetish, and food fetish.
Yeah.
What is she dressed as? What's the cosplay?
Diva from Overwatch.
I thought this was just like her, like she's a character.
What is this?
All right, my
fucking metal
Twitter on my computer is being a dick right now, Larry. So I'm going to DM you this link.
Wheels, I get. Wheels make sense. What the fuck are all these pipes? Why does this not have instructions?
Isn't this guy go around all day claiming that he's smart and now he needs instructions from a moron?
No, like any major construction should come with an instruction pamphlet.
It's a chair. It's not a major
goddamn chair.
The legs go on the bottom.
If you put it together and it flies, you've done it wrong.
Motherfucker,
you've done it very right.
You have not seen how many parts this thing comes in.
I've put together chairs before.
He thinks he's the only person to ever put together a chair.
It's too good not to eat.
I mean, do you have don't you guys have phones? Okay, my problem with this link is it's Instagram, so it's not letting me scroll backwards.
It should just take you to a video.
It has, but I'm trying to go back to the start of the video and it keeps looping me.
Oh, that's weird. Damn it. Because it's fucking hilarious.
No, it is. I've seen this video.
I wonder if I can find it on YouTube. Let's see.
I wonder if this fat woman will soil herself.
Well, here's a better question for y'all. Do you think she noticed she soiled herself because she's so fat?
Probably, and that outfit is just gonna fucking roll up her back and explode out the back of her neck like a baby having a blowout.
It's gonna be like Old Faithful.
Oh.
Okay.
I mean, she's not even doing a good competitive eating job of eating these hot dogs.
Right? It's like super amateur.
Okay.
So, church.
Don't bring me into this.
Well, no. I was going to discuss something. You were talking about maybe we should start doing some content on Twitch.
I was going to start doing some content on Twitch. How about you fuckers?
There you go, Larry. I found a YouTube link for that same video.
All right. Okay. Did you DM that one to me too?
Yeah.
Life is like a box of chocolates. It ends sooner for large people.
But no, I was thinking about starting some gaming stuff over there.
Okay. So we've watched enough of this. We're going to watch something that is less repugnant.
I mean, I'm going to be a minute making a chair.
I mean, yeah, I hear that. And then.
Why did they individually package and wrap each individual fucking chair leg?
All right, we'll go here. All right.
The boss just trolled you, Rune. I think that's what's happened.
Oh, there's no audio.
Nope, there's no audio.
I've seen this though. This is fantastic. These
I love this.
idiots come up to
It
him.
makes my
They
heart
start
so warm.
singing and he just walks away.
I've wet dreams about going somewhere public with a piano and doing this to people.
Can you play the piano?
A little bit.
Oh,
So here's a question. My not being a professional music man, does this happen when you're like in public like this, just playing the piano? It feels kind of weird.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll definitely happen. Even like stuff like that'll happen at open mic nights sometimes. Like other people will like join in on a song that you're doing. That's usually okay. But yeah, you see this quite a bit, like just street performing in general. Like if somebody else has an instrument, they'll come up, might play with you and stuff. But this is just so funny.
Yeah, I know. I can get that being funny.
No, people have taken that this social media trend that things are obviously staged, where you have someone with just a magnanimous singing voice that joins in on some kind of street performance, and they create this beautiful piece of content for shorts and whatnot that goes immediately viral. People think that's just like what naturally happens, and they all think they can also sing.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I had a period of time in which I was just singing. I was in a choir, and that took work.
yeah, but my question is, if you see someone just randomly playing an instrument on the street busking, are you just gonna jump in and then start fucking singing with them without
I
even
know,
like not talking to them? Like you might get stabbed for that.
because I mean, you might screw up their gig. Which is not a good time.
I'll be honest here. I hate street performers. Like I think that if you're gonna be out there and I didn't buy a ticket to your fucking concert, and if you're gonna be harassing my ear space with your nonsense, you should be paying me.
I have in fact seen videos of what Ayrton is describing, where people have come up to start participating, and the busker was like, "Get the fuck out of my face!"
I even hate that there's a word for it. She just
yeah.
busker. Oh.
So
I was at the pier fishing, and there's a guy there playing guitar, and I'm like, dude, I drove 45 minutes to come and have a relaxing day at the pier and try to catch some goddamn fish, and I hear this idiot singing fucking like Journey and like all these 70s rock songs.
Wonderwall.
And I'm like, Jesus Christ. I mean, and I'm like, after 20 minutes, I'm like, are you gonna stop? Are you gonna take a break? Are you gonna leave and then maybe somebody will come and sell jewelry?
What about the people that like act like statues? And then somebody comes up to them and they like move and they scare the shit out of them. How do you feel about like that kind of street performing?
Yeah, I don't care. That's quiet.
Yeah, miming, also a good one.
Yep.
How about people
doing acrobatics? But I'm okay with you doing acrobatics as long as you don't walk around in a circle like raising your hands up trying to get people to make noise.
How about
people street magicians? Their little table, they do the cups and balls and.
No,
those are all con artists.
Isn't that a scam?
Yeah.
How about caricature artists? You know, the people who draw the big heads in the race car.
Do they do that? Yeah, it's kind of annoying. But no, yeah, they don't make a lot of noise, do they?
Generally not. No.
They speak, which is bad enough.
Like if your setup is taking up 50% of the sidewalk, now you're fucking causing me problems. Now I gotta walk. Everybody normally you would have a good 5-6 feet. One person walking one way, one walking another. Now I got to get close to these people walking opposite directions of me.
See, the most annoying ones to me are the guys where they'll have like a few of the Home Depot 5-gallon buckets and they just sit there and like drum on them.
Oh my god,
those are the worst.
Just stop making noise. Jesus Christ.
I mean, a drum is different than a bucket. It's not acoustically the same.
Yeah. Well,
like you got to be superbly skilled.
They never are.
They never are. I seen one video years ago of some guy in Croatia that was like a one-man band. And I was like, I can dig that. He's, has everything hooked up in levers. He's walking around. The cymbals are clanking on the back of his knees. He's an entire orchestra all by himself.
Yeah.
Okay, I can. You know what? Good for you. I can handle that.
Yeah, the bucket ones were the worst when I lived in Chicago because the city's so tightly packed. Every noise just echoes for blocks off of all those fucking buildings. It was so goddamn loud and so annoying. But then you would also have, some 75-year-old black dude just like standing on the sidewalk with a saxophone, just, tooting away. That was all right.
Yeah. Because that guy was doing pretty good.
Here,
Aaron.
Can I share this with you real quick?
Just a second. What you got?
It's the one-man band guy from Croatia.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
I've
seen that.
Oh, yeah.
Got a little umbrella and everything. This guy's putting in a lot of work.
Yeah, it makes you want to dance a jig.
Nah, I don't know. He could still have a monkey.
Well, a monkey makes everything better.
I mean, to be fair, though, Church, in Croatia, they call those people Bosnians.
Oh, right. Very good.
And then he starts singing later in the video, and I don't understand the language, but
Bosnians
it sounds like a
call
good
them
melody.
Ukrainians?
I mean, the funny part is, 20 years before they got their recent independence, they were all speaking the same language. And they're now pretending like they weren't.
Right.
So, Church, you got anything powerful to send us all out on?
No. I've been playing an old game that was hiding on my Epix account called Solitarica. Or what is it? Yeah, Solitarica. It's a roguelike solitaire game.
Oh, that sounds neat.
Oh yeah, I think you've mentioned that before.
No, that was Balatro. That was the poker.
That's the poker one, though.
Yeah, Rune, pay attention to your screen real quick. I'll share.
I can't. I actually cannot get back to my computer.
Because
How
he's
has
busy
this
with
chair
his
impaired you this hard?
I'm telling you, it is a billion fucking pieces. It is a giant chair in a giant box with a million goddamn bits. I have found the instructions, and I am currently putting together the feet of the monster.
10 on the jack.
Yeah. And then
And you got the 4 and the 5.
you can't do that. You have to bring down to your pile. That's all you can do.
Hey.
So because I want that card, because I'm stunned, I'm gonna have to play it that way. Left it randomized again. But I can look at what my next draw is, so I don't want to get rid of the 7, but I can kill that ace to reveal another ace. Yay. You got powers over here that kind of give you like a leg up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, ace, king, queen, jack. Yep. About how it goes.
Who was that?
That is Ayrton. That's another bit of the deep lore for the show.
What?
Oh, did you hear? Oh my god, that video of that. Who is it? Some lady in the house or something?
Oh, the black lady like talking about like religion.
Every time
or
she goes up
philosophy
to
or
speak,
something.
somebody's playing the sound effect of a smoke alarm going off. Jesus Christ, that's so damn funny. I can't handle it.
It is actually the one thing about this show that is probably a good thing. Is it's maybe very conscientious about changing the battery on my
You're
smoke
welcome.
detector
I am doing a
to-
public service.
to ensure that I am not ceiling burned while I have these people as my associates, because they will never let me live it the fuck down.
You know, I thought about starting a business that it's ceiling bird removal, and you just go to Section 8 apartment housing, and just like, yeah, you got a ceiling bird problem. You're all gonna have to like stay at a hotel for the week, and you put like one of those fumigation tents over the whole apartment complex.
Right.
You know,
And
just
really,
change. Well,
and
you
the
know,
only
you just
cost that
change all the
actually matters is like $5 for batteries.
yeah, you just change all the batteries in like 20 minutes, but then charge them like $12,000 to fumigate the entire complex for the birds. And then if somebody wants to see the process, it's proprietary. We can't let you see it.
Well, the best part is if you actually operate like a removal business, people who are in on the joke, who realize it's a joke but will hire you anyway just to be like, yeah, you ordered this ceiling bird, you charge them for showing up. That's your consulting fee.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, this is one of the things that I might potentially stream over on Twitch, just to see what the see if there's any audience over there for somebody failing at roguelikes. Because I have a lot of them. I love the format of the games. I'm bad at them.
Okay.
Like,
I think it could be fun.
Man, let's see. Let me stop screen there. Let me go back. We'll save and quit here. Yeah, so for roguelikes right now, I've got Balatro. I've got the chess version of Balatro, waiting for that to come open. I've got Rogue Legacy. I've got Solitarica. 4 or 5 different ones that I've never played. But I also have a random collection of just fucked up games that I've never played on my Steam account and my Epic account. So I could do that. I can badly attempt Pokemon Nuzlocke because I don't have the deep stat knowledge that some of these people do.
Now,
But,
did that game Squirrel with a Gun ever come out?
Squirrel with a Gun.
Yeah.
I think it did.
It's got a 9 out of 10 on Steam. Only cost $20. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well,
I could buy that and play it.
Well, we clicked in with our 2-hour time frame, so I think we need to.
That might be my first. That might be my first stream goal. Make $20 to buy a Squirrel with a Gun.
Hell yeah.
Sounds legit.
Well, we put in our time. Good night, everybody.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Goodbye.